Gentlemen, here's the deal. When a woman backs away, pulls back, goes cold, stops reaching out, most guys freak out. They start chasing. They start blowing up her phone. They start trying to force her to come back. And guess what? That's exactly what makes her run even faster. You got to understand something. Attraction is like a cat. The more you chase, the more it runs. The more you stay centered, calm, focused on your life, the more she feels the space. And that space is what pulls her back in. So what do you do when she backs away? Simple. You give her the gift of missing you. You stop trying to force anything. You let her reach out first. And when she does, you make a date. So that's it. No long explanations, no crying. No begging, just calm, grounded, masculine leadership. Here's what happens. When you stop chasing, when you lean back, she starts wondering, why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he blowing up my phone? And that curiosity, that uncertainty, it reignites the attraction. Your job is not to convince her. Your job is not to fix her. Your job is to stay strong, to stay on your path, and let her come back because she wants to. Because remember this, if she backs away and you chase, you lose value. If she backs away and you remain calm, she feels your strength. And women are drawn to strength, not weakness. So next time she backs away, do nothing. Live your life. Stay focused on your mission. And when she comes back, set a date, hang out, have fun, hook up. That's the formula. That's what works when a woman starts to back away. The worst thing you can do as a man is to chase after her. Most guys don't even realize they're doing it. They feel her energy shift. She stops texting as much. She's not as affectionate. Maybe she takes longer to respond. And immediately their gut starts panicking. That fear kicks in and the guy thinks, oh no, she's slipping away. I better do something to pull her back. And what happens next? He starts calling her too much. He starts double texting. He starts asking, what's wrong? Are you mad? Did I do something? And from her perspective, all of that chasing behavior just screams insecurity. Instead of making her want to come closer, it makes her want to run even faster in the opposite direction. Chasing destroys the very attraction that brought her in to begin with. Think about it. When she first met you, you weren't chasing, you were just being you. You had your own life, your own focus, your own rhythm. She was drawn into your world because you weren't needy. She had to earn your time, your attention, your presence. But when she feels you start chasing after her approval, you've flipped the dynamic upside down. Now you're the one trying to earn her. And that's when she starts to feel like she's got all the power. The moment she feels she has you locked down, she loses interest. The mystery is gone, the tension is gone, and what used to feel exciting now feels boring. That's why chasing kills attraction every single time. Now, here's the thing. Women don't consciously plan this. Most of the time, she's not sitting there scheming, thinking, I'm going to pull back just to test him. It's usually much more subtle. She's just feeling out where you're at. Maybe she's stressed with work. Maybe she's overwhelmed with life. Maybe her emotions are up and down like they naturally are. Or maybe she just wants to see how solid you really are. Because women are always testing without even realizing they're testing. They want to feel that the man they're with is grounded, strong, unshakable. So when she backs away, that's her way of saying, let's see what he does now. Is he going to lose it and chase me? Or is he going to stay centered and let me come back on my own? If you choose to chase, you fail that test instantly. Chasing communicates that you're operating from fear. Fear of loss, fear of abandonment, fear of being alone, and fear never attracts anyone. Think about it. When someone is desperately trying to hold on to you, how do you feel? Do you feel drawn to them? Do you feel more attracted? No. You feel smothered. You feel pressured, and you want space. That's exactly what happens in her mind when you chase. You might think you're showing her love, but what you're really showing her is weakness. And women are repelled by weakness. On the flip side, when you resist that urge to chase, you communicate something powerful without saying a word. You're showing her that you're not afraid of losing her. You're showing her that your world doesn't fall apart just because she's pulling away a little bit. And that calm confidence is attractive. It makes her wonder, why isn't he chasing me? Why isn't he reacting the way other guys would? That question stirs her curiosity. It forces her to think about you. And that thinking creates emotional momentum. In other words, the very act of not chasing makes her want to come back. Now I know what you might be thinking, but what if she never comes back? What if I lose her for good? And here's the truth, if she doesn't come back, then she was never really yours to begin with. You can't force attraction. You can't negotiate desire. And you definitely can't make someone stay who doesn't want to stay. But the only chance you do have of keeping her interested is by backing off when she backs away. That's the paradox. By chasing, you guarantee you'll lose her. By not chasing, You give her the freedom to miss you, and that's what creates the possibility of her coming back stronger than before. So the next time you feel that urge to chase, I want you to pause. Take a breath, remind yourself that your instinct is lying to you. The fear in your gut is not your guide, it's your enemy. Instead of acting on it, do the opposite. Pull back, let her be, focus on your life, go to the gym, work on your business, hang with your friends, dive into your mission, keep living as if nothing is wrong. Because in reality, nothing is wrong. Her pulling away is not the end of the world, it's just part of the dance. And the man who stays calm in that moment, that's the man she can't stop thinking about. Finally, understand this: chasing is not love. Chasing is attachment. Chasing is fear. Real love gives space. Real love allows freedom. Real love says, you can come and go, and I'll be fine either way. That's the energy women crave. That's the energy that makes them feel safe, secure, and irresistibly drawn to you. So when she backs away, don't chase her, ever, because chasing is weakness, and strength is what keeps her coming back. When a woman starts to back away, the most important thing you can do is give her space. And here's where most guys screw it up. They feel that distance, they sense her pulling back, and immediately they think, I've got to close the gap, I've got to pull her closer before she slips away. But that instinct is dead wrong, because the more you try to close that gap, the more she feels smothered. The more you try to control her, the more she wants to escape. Attraction thrives in freedom, not pressure. So instead of trying to close the gap, you got to lean back and let her have all the room she wants. Think of it like this. Imagine you're holding a bar of soap in your hand. If you squeeze it too tight, it slips right out. But if you hold it gently, loosely, it stays put. Relationships work the same way. When you cling, when you suffocate, when you press for closeness that she's not ready to give, she'll slip away. But when you allow space, when you let her breathe, when you show her that she's free to come and go as she pleases, she actually wants to stay. Because space builds desire. Space makes her wonder what you're doing, who you're with, what's going on in your world. And that curiosity pulls her back in naturally. Most men fear space because they think space equals rejection. They think if she needs space, that means she doesn't want me anymore. But that's not true. Space doesn't always mean she's done. A lot of times, space just means she's overwhelmed. Women process emotions differently than men. Sometimes they need to withdraw to sort things out. Sometimes they just want to feel what it's like to miss you. And sometimes they need to see if you're strong enough to handle it. If you collapse the moment she pulls away, you fail the test. But if you stay calm, relaxed, and unbothered, she sees that you're not desperate. And that's what makes her feel safe coming back. Giving her space is also about self-respect. You're basically saying, I value myself enough not to beg for your attention. I've got my own life, my own goals, my own mission. If you want to be here, great. If not, that's fine too. That kind of energy is incredibly attractive because it communicates abundance. It says you're not dependent on her for your happiness. You're not waiting by the phone. You're not rearranging your entire life just to get a text back. You're living your life fully, with or without her. And ironically, that's the very thing that makes her want to be a part of it. Now here's the beautiful part. When you give a woman space, she starts to feel the absence of your presence. She starts noticing the silence. She notices the lack of texts, the lack of attention, the lack of effort from your side. And after a while, she starts missing it. She starts thinking about the way you made her feel when she was around you. She starts craving the connection again. And eventually, that craving drives her to reach out. That's the power of giving space. By stepping back, you create the room for her to step forward. Of course, giving space doesn't mean you play games. It doesn't mean you ignore her forever or try to punish her by withdrawing affection. It's not about being cold or manipulative. It's about respecting her need to pull away while staying grounded in your own strength. If she texts you, you don't ignore her. You respond, but you keep it simple and direct. If she wants to see you, you make a date. But you don't chase. You don't initiate when she's pulling back. You let her come to you. Because the whole point is to let her feel what it's like when she doesn't have you. That contrast between closeness and space is what reignites attraction. And let me leave you with this: space is not your enemy. Space is your ally. Space is the environment where attraction can breathe, where desire can grow, where she can remember why she was drawn to you in the first place. If you try to suffocate that, you kill it. But if you allow it, you feed it. And the man who understands that, the man who can stay patient and calm while she takes space, is the man who always wins in the end. Because he knows that love is not about control. Love is about freedom. And freedom is what keeps her coming back again and again. One of the biggest mistakes men make when a woman pulls back is feeling like it's their responsibility to fix the situation. They think if they can just reach out first, If they can just explain themselves better, if they can just call enough times or send the right message, she'll suddenly wake up and come running back. But that's not how attraction works. You cannot talk a woman into liking you. You cannot convince her to feel something that isn't there in the moment. When she's pulling away, the only thing you can do is let her be and allow her to reach out first. That's how you show her you're not desperate. That's how you communicate strength. Letting her reach out first flips the script. Most guys, when they feel that tension, start pursuing harder. They're trying to solve the problem by chasing. But when you hold back, when you stay calm, when you allow her to make the first move, she starts to wonder. She starts asking herself, why hasn't he called me? Why isn't he texting me? Every other guy would be blowing up my phone by now. What's different about him? That silence plants a seed in her mind. That curiosity makes her think about you. And that thought loop is what stirs her emotions back to the surface. Now, here's where the discipline comes in. Because as a man, your instinct is to close the gaps. You don't like uncertainty. You don't like not knowing what's going on. You want answers. But if you give into that urge and chase after her, you ruin the effect. You basically communicate, I can't handle the silence, I can't handle the space, I need reassurance right now. And that's weakness. Women don't want to lead an attraction. They don't want to be the one deciding whether you're secure or not. They want to feel like you're solid no matter what. So the very act of waiting, of letting her reach out first, is a demonstration of your emotional strength. It proves you're not ruled by fear. Another reason you want her reaching out first is because it tells you where she really stands. If you're always the one initiating, you never know if she's genuinely interested or just tolerating you out of convenience. But when you stop, when you go silent and wait, her actions reveal the truth. If she values you, if she misses you, if she cares, she will reach out. Period. It might take days, it might take weeks, but she will do it. And when she does, you have your answer. Her actions show you exactly how much she wants to be in your life. On the other hand, if she never reaches out, that tells you something too. It tells you she was never really invested. And as painful as that may be, it saves you from wasting more time on someone who doesn't genuinely want to be with you. Letting her reach out first also puts you back in the position of strength. Because once she contacts you, you get to lead again. You don't chase. You don't ask endless questions about why she disappeared. You don't get emotional. You just respond calmly, warmly, and you suggest a date. Something simple like, hey, great to hear from you. When are you free to get together? That's it. No drama, no neediness, no lectures. Just confident leadership. She reached out because she missed you. She reached out because she was thinking about your job is to reward that with your presence, not with a therapy session. And that's what makes her feel safe and drawn to you again. It's important to understand that attraction is not logical. It's emotional. A woman doesn't come back because you send her the perfect text. She doesn't come back because you convince her with a 5-paragraph essay about your feelings. She comes back because she feels something when you're not around. She misses the way you made her laugh. She misses the way she felt in your presence. She misses your strength, your energy, your touch. And the only way she can feel that again is if she's the one who initiates contact. That's why letting her reach out first is not just a strategy, it's essential. It creates the emotional tension that draws her back. Now, here's the paradox. Letting her reach out first takes more courage than chasing. Because chasing feels like you're doing something. It feels active, but waiting feels risky. Waiting feels uncomfortable. Waiting forces you to confront your own insecurities, and that's exactly why it's powerful. It builds your strength as a man. It makes you more centered. It trains you to stay calm in uncertainty. And when you can master that, women can feel it. They can sense it in your presence. And that strength, that calm leadership is what keeps them coming back again and again. When she finally reaches out, that's your moment of truth. Most guys blow it right here because they let their emotions take over. They get excited that she's finally calling or texting, and they dump all their pent-up feelings into the conversation. They'll say things like, where have you been? Why haven't you called? I've missed you so much. Are we okay? Did I do something wrong? And what happens? She feels pressured, cornered, and reminded of why she pulled back in the first place. That kind of needy, emotional energy doesn't draw her closer. It pushes her further away. The right response is always calm, cool, and in control. That's leadership. Leadership in relationships doesn't mean you bark orders or act like a dictator. It means you provide direction. It means you take responsibility for the tone of the interaction. When she reaches out, you don't interrogate her or make her feel guilty. You simply lead the exchange forward in a positive, light, playful way. For example, if she texts you Hey stranger, you don't reply with bitterness or sarcasm. You don't ignore her. You say something warm but grounded, like, good to hear from you. When are you free to get together? Notice the difference? One response keeps you in your masculine frame. The other response communicates that you've lost control of your emotions. Calm leadership also means you're not living in the past. If she went distant for a while, you don't punish her for it. You don't bring up how long it's been since she last called or how you felt abandoned. That's not attractive, that's complaining. Instead, you act as if nothing's wrong. Because from your perspective, nothing is wrong. You've been living your life, doing your thing, staying on your mission. Her absence didn't rattle you. So when she returns, you simply fold her back into your world without drama. That attitude tells her, I'm not here to fight about what happened. I'm here to enjoy the present. And that creates the kind of ease and security she's craving. Think about it this way. If you're a captain steering a ship and your crew gets rattled during a storm, they look to you for stability. If you panic, they panic even more. But if you stay calm, focused, and decisive, they relax and follow your lead. Women respond to men the exact same way. When she tests you by pulling back, she's watching to see if you'll stay centered. And when she finally circles back, she's subconsciously checking if you'll stay grounded in that moment too. If you get emotional and start complaining, you're showing her you can't handle uncertainty. But if you stay calm and lead, she feels safe to follow. Another part of calm leadership is simplicity. Most men overcomplicate things when they get another shot. They want to have long conversations about the relationship. They want to pour their heart out and analyze every little detail. But that's not what works. What works is keeping things light and fun. So when she reaches out, you don't need a deep talk. You just need to set a date. Something simple like grabbing a drink, going to dinner, or hanging out. You're basically saying, I appreciate that you reached out. Now let's get together in person and enjoy ourselves. That keeps everything moving forward in the right direction without unnecessary drama. Calm leadership also means knowing when not to respond. Sometimes women reach out in a half-hearted way just to test if you're still available. They might send a vague message like, hey, with no follow-up, or react to a story on social media without actually trying to reconnect. In those cases, lips. You don't need to jump all over it. If her message doesn't give you anything to work with, you simply ignore it or give a short, polite response and move on. You're not there to chase scraps of attention. You're there to engage when she genuinely wants to see you. That kind of discernment shows maturity, and it reinforces your position as the leader. Finally, calm leadership is about consistency. It's not just how you respond once, it's how you respond every time. She needs to know that no matter what mood she's in, no matter how hot or cold she gets, you're going to stay grounded. You're not riding her emotional roller coaster. You're steady, stable, and reliable, and that consistency is what builds long-term attraction, because women want to feel like they can trust your strength. They want to know that no matter what, you're not going to lose yourself in the process of being with them. That's real leadership. And when you embody that, she feels it on a deep level, safe, secure, and irresistibly drawn to you. One of the fastest ways to destroy attraction is by explaining yourself over and over, or worse, begging for attention. A lot of guys fall into this trap the moment a woman pulls away. They feel that insecurity rising in their chest, and instead of holding it down and staying calm, they start pleading. They'll send long texts explaining why they acted a certain way, why they deserve another chance, why she should see them differently. Some even go as far as begging, please don't leave me. I'll change. I promise I'll do better. And the second those words come out, she knows she's lost respect for him. Why? Because explaining and begging both communicate the same thing, weakness. When you explain yourself excessively, what you're really saying is, I need you to understand me, I need you to validate me, I need you to approve of me. That's not masculine energy. Masculine energy doesn't need approval. Masculine energy doesn't need constant validation. Masculine energy simply is. A strong man knows who he is. He doesn't need to convince anyone of his worth, especially not a woman he's dating. The moment you start trying to justify yourself, you're putting her in the position of judge and jury, and you're the defendant begging for her mercy. That's not attractive. That's not sexy. That's not the vibe that keeps her interested. Begging is even worse. Begging takes all of your power and hands it over to her on a silver platter. You're basically saying, I don't value myself enough to walk away, so I'll do whatever it takes just to keep you around. And when you do that, she feels the imbalance immediately. Women are hardwired to test for strength. They want to know that the man they're with can stand on his own 2 feet. Begging shows the exact opposite. It shows that you can't handle loss. It shows that you're emotionally dependent on her. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who acts like a little boy clinging to his mother for reassurance. The irony is that most men think explaining or begging will fix the situation. They think if they can just say the right thing, if they can just show her how much they care, she'll change her mind. But women don't respond to words the way men do. Women respond to feelings. They respond to strength. They respond to presence. You could give her the most perfectly crafted speech in the world, and it wouldn't matter if she doesn't feel attraction. In fact, the more you talk, the more you actually push her away because you're trying to solve an emotional issue with logic. And attraction doesn't work on logic, it works on emotion. The strongest thing you can do when she pulls back is resist the urge to explain yourself. Don't send her essays over text. Don't write long apologies unless you genuinely screwed up in a big way, and even then, keep it short and simple. Don't beg her to come back. Instead, let your silence speak for you. Let your actions demonstrate your strength. Let your calm energy communicate that you're not rattled by her behavior. Because when she feels that calmness, when she sees that you're not chasing or pleading, she can actually relax. She starts to feel that you're the strong, grounded man she was attracted to in the beginning. Now, this doesn't mean you become cold or arrogant. It doesn't mean you ignore her if she reaches out. It simply means you don't over-invest when she's backing away. If she pulls back, you match and mirror her energy. If she goes quiet, you go quiet too. If she reaches out, you respond positively but briefly, and you set a date. That's it. There's no extra explaining, no extra effort, no begging for reassurance. By doing less, you actually communicate more. You communicate confidence, you communicate certainty. And that's exactly what women crave. At the end of the day, you've got to remember this truth: attraction cannot be negotiated. You can't talk her into wanting you. You can't beg her into respecting you. You can't explain your way back in her heart. It doesn't work like that. The only thing that works is strength. And strength shows up in silence. Strength shows up in self-control. Strength shows up in your ability to walk away if she doesn't want to come closer. When you stop explaining and begging, you reclaim your power. And when you reclaim your power, she feels it. And 9 times out of 10, that's when she starts chasing you again. As a man, your mission in life must always come first. Your purpose, your goals, your ambitions, that's what gives you strength, direction, and confidence. And here's the thing: women are naturally drawn to men who are on their path. They want to feel like they're a part of something bigger than just casual dates and conversations. They want to feel like they've stepped into the life of a man who knows where he's going. But the moment you lose sight of that, the moment you make her the center of your entire world, she starts to lose respect for you. Because now you're no longer the leader of your own life, you become dependent on her for your sense of value. And that kills attraction. When she pulls back, most guys make the mistake of dropping everything just to chase her. They stop going to the gym, they stop focusing on work, they stop hanging out with friends. Their whole schedule becomes about checking their phone, waiting for her message, worrying about what she's doing. And from her perspective, that's exhausting. She doesn't want to feel like she's your only source of happiness. She doesn't want to feel like she's responsible for your sense of identity. She wants to feel like she's stepping into the life of a man who's already fulfilled, already moving forward, already on his path, with or without her. That's the energy that excites her. Staying focused on your mission also gives you emotional stability. Because here's the truth: women will test you. They will pull back, they will get moody, they will become unpredictable at times. If you don't have a larger mission in life, you'll get rocked every time her emotions change. But if you do have a mission, you'll always have a foundation to stand on. Your work, your purpose, your calling, that's your anchor. That's the thing that keeps you from chasing after validation when she's distant. It reminds you that you are more than just her boyfriend or her partner. You are a man with a purpose. And that kind of inner strength makes you unshakable. Think about the men you admire most: athletes, entrepreneurs, leaders, artists. They didn't become who they are by chasing women. They became who they are by chasing their vision. The women came as a byproduct of that. The same principle applies in your life. When you're dialed in on your mission, opportunities, people, and yes, women are drawn to you. But when you make a woman your mission, you cut yourself off at the knees. You start living reactively, hoping she validates you instead of validating yourself through your own achievements. And that's when she loses attraction, because she no longer sees you as the strong, ambitious man she was drawn to in the first place. Now, this doesn't mean you ignore her or treat her like she doesn't matter. It simply means she's not number one. Your mission is number one. Because if you abandon your mission for her, you're betraying the very thing that made you attractive to her in the first place. Remember, she was drawn to you because you had direction. She was drawn to you because you were building something. She was drawn to you because you had a life outside of her. If you sacrifice all of that just to win her approval, she feels it instantly. She sees that shift. And instead of feeling secure, she feels the opposite. She feels pressure. She feels responsibility. She feels like she's carrying the weight of being your everything. And that suffocates her. The beauty of staying focused on your mission is that it naturally creates the right dynamic. When you're busy pursuing your goals, you're not obsessing over her every move. You're not sitting around wondering why she hasn't texted back. You're living your life. You're staying busy. You're improving yourself. And that silence, that calm detachment, is what makes her start thinking about you again. She starts wondering, what's he doing? Why isn't he chasing me? Who else might be in his life? That curiosity builds attraction, and before you know it, she's the one reaching out to you. At the end of the day, women don't want to be your mission. They want to be a part of your mission. They want to feel like they're joining a man who already has direction, who already has purpose, who already has momentum. That's exciting for them. That's attractive. That's what makes them feel safe and inspired at the same time. So never lose yourself in a woman. Never abandon your purpose just to keep her. Because the man who stays focused on his mission, no matter what, is the man who keeps his power. And when you keep your power, she'll always feel drawn back into your world. At the core of attraction lies one simple truth: strength is magnetic. Women are irresistibly drawn to men who project strength, not just physical strength, but emotional strength, mental strength, and spiritual strength. It's that unshakable energy, that calm confidence, that quiet certainty about who you are and where you're going in life. When a woman feels that from you, she can relax into her feminine. She doesn't have to lead. She doesn't have to test. She doesn't have to question whether you can handle life. She feels it. And that feeling creates attraction on a level that words alone can never produce. Strength is magnetic because it communicates safety. A woman wants to know that the man she's with won't collapse under pressure. Life is unpredictable. There will be setbacks, challenges, storms that shake everything you thought was secure. If she senses that you crumble at the first sign of trouble, she can't fully trust you. But if she sees that you can stay calm, that you can hold it together when things get hard, she feels safe. And safety is sexy. Safety allows her to let go of control, to lean into her emotions, to trust you with her heart and her body. That's why strength is not optional. It's essential. But let's be clear, strength is not about arrogance. It's not about acting tough, raising your voice, or trying to dominate people through fear. That's insecurity in disguise. Real strength is quiet. Real strength doesn't need to be loud. Real strength is measured in patience, in discipline, in self-control. It's the ability to keep your cool when others lose theirs. It's the ability to stay on your mission even when distractions show up. It's the ability to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. That kind of strength is rare. And because it's rare, it's magnetic, women can sense it instantly. Think about it. How many men fold the moment a woman pulls away? How many men start chasing, pleading, and begging the moment they feel distance? That's weakness. That's insecurity. And that's exactly why women test. They want to see if you're strong enough to handle their storms. Because if you can't handle her pulling back for a week, how are you going to handle life's real challenges? How are you going to lead a family? How are you going to stand up to the pressures of the world? Women want to feel like they can trust you in those moments. And when you pass those tests with calm strength, she feels that magnetic pull back to you. Strength is also magnetic because it creates mystery. When you're strong, you don't over-explain yourself. You don't beg for attention. You don't try to prove your worth. You let your actions speak. You let your silence create curiosity. You let her wonder what you're doing, who you're with, what's going on in your world. That curiosity keeps her engaged. It keeps her chasing, and the more she chases, the more she invests. The more she invests, the more attraction grows. All because you had the strength to sit back and let things unfold instead of trying to force them. Another reason strength is magnetic is because it sets the tone in the relationship. A strong man doesn't get dragged into emotional chaos. He doesn't fight over small things. He doesn't take every word personally. Instead, he remains steady. And because he remains steady, she adjusts to his energy. She relaxes into his frame. She feels like she can express herself fully without breaking him. That's incredibly attractive to a woman because it allows her to be her natural self, emotional, playful, unpredictable, while knowing you'll stay the same. That consistency is strength. And that strength keeps her locked in. At the end of the day, attraction is not about tricks or tactics. It's not about saying the perfect line or sending the perfect text. It's about who you are as a man. It's about the strength you embody every single day. Because when you are strong, calm, patient, disciplined, and focused. You don't have to chase women, they chase you. You don't have to beg for love. Love flows toward you. You don't have to explain your worth. People feel it in your presence. That's why strength is magnetic. It's the foundation of masculine energy, and it's the one quality that keeps women coming back again and again